Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Outnumbered is an educational board game, but please do not let that scare you off. There is a legitimate board game in this box. Outnumbered is really, really, really fun. Math aside, learning aside, this is a legitimate board game. It's a tower defense game as bad guys are coming down trying to take over the city, and there's a little track going around the side. And you're utilizing the dice and different mathematical equations in order to defeat the bad guys who have numbers on them. You can multiply, divide, add, subtract, use prime numbers, divisibilities. All these things are in this game. It's a great learning tool for your kids. If you homeschool and you do math at all, do yourself a favor, track down this game, guys. It is that good. Let me go as far as say this. Even if you don't want to use this as an educational game, this is a fantastic children's game. This game is really fun with the family, and you'll be learning and reinforcing those mathematical skills, and it's fantastic. And the kids won't even notice because this is a legitimate educational game. This is one of the best educational games I've ever seen. This is one of the best I've ever played because there's a legitimate game there, and it works. Guess what? Psst. It's fun. This is a fun game. This is a really fun game that your kids are going to like, and I mean that quite a bit. Just to be clear, I purchased this game. I bought this game. Nobody sent me this game. I bought this game, and I like it. I like playing with my kids. I like that it reinforces math. I like the whole package. Superhero thing is fun. The different character powers you have is fun. There's an easy deck and a hard deck for your older kids. I like it quite a bit. Total winner for me. Keeper, check this one out, guys. Here's Outnumbered Improbable Heroes. You can see some generic heroes on the board, but you can see this, Superman, Iron Man type character, etc. Robin Hood, maybe. I don't know. Very, very neat. You're going to get a rulebook, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes, and we'll finish looking through these components. You're going to get a board. Now, the board is pretty nice. I mean, this is kind of like an independent game, if you would. Got a picture of the front on the rack of the board. You're going to have a track down the side, a place where the cards will come out. You're going to have the final assault rules and kind of how a turn works. I think it's a very nice board. Very colorful, and I think it works brilliantly for what this game is. You're going to get a number of components here that are fairly easy. You're going to get a nice little truck that is silk screened on both sides. It's very nice. You're going to get some dice and some little tiny cards that will be in here. You're going to have the barricade cards, some hero cards, and the event and the villain cards. For the most part, they're going to have words on some of these, different villains on here, mainly the same ones, just overused over and over and over again, which is fine. You're going to have two sets of, you want easy or hard, and then, not a lot of artwork on these cards. On the hero cards, you're going to get some, but it's fine for what it is, and I think it works fine. These cards are small, but it's nice because it fits on the board perfectly. So here's the rule book. You can see a picture of setup right here with all the rules. Very simple for you to get through. There is a QR code if you want to watch the rules. Instead, you're going to have an overview, a player turn, how that works with an example, plenty of pictures, plenty of color. They kind of made it try to look like a comic book, if you will, a little bit, how everything works through here. Winning and losing, your final score will be, and then a training mode if you want younger gamers for them to be able to pick up on it a little bit easier. Probably need less than 5 minutes, maybe 10 if you're a slow reader to get through this. The rules are very clear, not a lot of room for interpretation. The game is very easy to understand and play. So first thing I'm going to do is put the barricades on the bottom of the board down here. Everybody will take a hero card, which will give you a power. Reroll your dice, double value, add 1 to a value, subtract 1 or 2. Flip a die to opposite side or set one of your dice so it's equal to another one. So if everybody have one of these, they can use these powers on their turn. Everybody's going to get a bonus power, and you can earn these through the game. They'll let you do different things. Defeat a villain with an even number, divisible by 5. There's some prime numbers in here, odd numbers, even numbers. Great things to learn. Now, the way you're going to get one of these bonuses, I'll explain in a few minutes. You're going to have an event deck, which we'll use with the advanced mode, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And then you're going to have your villain deck. Now, you're going to have 2 levels in here. You're going to have the blue, which is easy, and the purple, which is hard, and you can just mix those together to go. For the most part, the hard mode is going to have higher numbers, like 100, and I think there's like a 216 in here. Also have numbers a little harder to get up to, like 29. It's kind of a weirder number than, say, like an 11, which might be a little bit easier with mathematics. So if you're going for multiplication or something, you want to do this. So the normal set of game, you're going to put the villains up here. and you will have these cards out with the different numbers on them so you can see, and you just kind of have this when the game is set up. You'll also put your car here on the tray. And what you're going to do is you're going to roll the 3 dice, and then you can use mathematics. You can add these together. 8, which doesn't really help you. 9. You can multiply them. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 isn't out there. Plus 1 is 16. It doesn't really help you, does it? So I can use this 3 right here, and I can just use it, and I defeat this villain. 5 plus 1 is 6. Get rid of this guy. And I've used all 3 of the dice. Now, if I had any bonus powers, I could, utilize these if I have it. If I could use my special powers, I could do that. And then the truck will move. Whenever it moves onto one of these spots, all the villains on the board will move, and a new set of villains will come out and populate the board. So what you're trying to do is stay alive. The way you're going to lose is if a villain ever hits the barricade will be taken off of the board, and then if a villain ever comes through here, you will lose. The way you win is by getting this all the way down here to the final assault, basically staying alive for a number of rounds. At that point, no more villains will come on the board. You just have to clear the board of villains. Now, the harder level is using these cards like I told you, but at the end of each round, you're also doing an event card. Advance all villains with odd numbers in the top row. You just do one of these. Deal 1 villain on each empty red space on the board. So that can make things a little bit tougher. Now, the only little trick to this, if you defeat somebody who's on the yellow spot, then you get to draw a bonus power into your hand. You can utilize this on your turn. Game is very easy. You can use math any way that you want. You can have this be multiplied by itself. 4 times 4 is 16. Great. I can defeat this card. 3 plus 1 is 4. I could defeat that card. Or 4 times 3 is 12. I could do that. You could... Let's say this was a 2, 4 times 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. You can literally be as creative with these dice as you want to be as long as you're using mathematics. Or you can just use each die for its own number if those are out. The 4 could kill something. 3 plus 2 is 5. It's not out there, but 3 times 2 is 6, which is out there. So you can do that too. And the idea is just use mathematics. Whenever you hit this spot, they'll move, new cards will come out. You just want to make sure you protect the city. Outnumbered is a great, easy game to play, and one I highly recommend. Who should buy this game? Anyone with family. Anybody with kids. Probably adults aren't going to play. It might be a little simple. Maybe a little filler for them at best. But if you have family, you got kids, you want to reinforce math. If you're a homeschooler, this is a game you need to get. Hear me clearly. Get this game. You want to reinforce math. You want to play. They're not going to notice they're doing math because this game is actually fun. There's a legitimate game here, guys. Support this game because so many educational games are turds. They're not good. They're boring. Education came first. The game came first. It's going to teach why they play. Fantastic. Highly recommend. Absolute keeper for me.